Dr. Tiger here. This is going to be a raw video. It is Monday, April 27th, and I blew my accounts today. All 5 XFAs are gone. I have passed in 5 evals. However, the 5 XFAs are gone, and I just tilted today. Just feeling very upset and disappointed in myself. I don't really know how my trading got to this point, if I'm being so honest. I have a mentor. I have gotten payouts. I've gotten $31,000 in payouts, and yet I still can't be disciplined enough to accept a loss. I mean, I'm okay with trading after a loss, right? But like the trade after a loss needs to be so A+, so confirmed, and I basically just kept on getting break even, and so I kept on sending trades, and they all lost, every single one of them. I had a $2,500 balance on my accounts, every single one of them, and I lost on every single one of those accounts. I lost all of those balances. I honestly, like, journaling this morning's very confusing because I kind of just kept on sending trades. I sent trades, and I would say these are the 3 main trades that I sent. Let me show you. These were the 3 main trades that I sent. I believe that I sent this trade right here. I sent this trade, and I think what actually happened was, I think I might have missed this setup. I literally don't even remember. I think I might have missed this setup. I like this setup here, but I missed it. And then I waited for a limit into, like, I placed a limit at this 1 minute low right here. And when I saw that we were failing to deliver lower right here, I kind of just decided, okay, like, I'm going break even. So this was a break even trade. Then I see this setup right here, and I saw this 1 minute inversion. We retraced the equilibrium. We got a 1 minute inverse. I kind of liked this idea. We had tons of stacked highs, and I was overall bullish at this point. So I lost on this setup. This setup, I could have waited for a CISD potentially, but we did not get that. And then we eventually get another setup right here, and I decided to take this one, and this one was break even. And after that, like, I kind of just, I don't even remember, but I think I just entered in this chop right here. I entered right here, and I tried again, and I just literally top ticked the move down. I ended up half passing some evals on this trade right here. This was like, we finally had swept this low, and we ended up getting another inversion. I just decided to send it because there's really no reason for us to be shorting. There is no reason for us to be shorting. We've already made our retracement. We've already made, like, price should not really go lower than this for today. We've respected these hourly gaps over and over and over again. I mean, this one did get disrespected eventually, but, like, it's just, you guys, my trading these past few weeks, you know, I've been successful, but I just have been trading so sloppy, and I think I need to remember what got me here in the first place. What won me these funded accounts? Good trades. What got me these payouts? Me staying disciplined and following my rules that I set for myself every single day. I have rules that I read that are in my journal, and they are right here. And potentially I need to revisit some of these rules. Potentially I need to edit them, change them, figure out what I need, because I made these rules when I was first starting, like, this journey in, like, January or December, and it is now April, almost May, and I'm almost like 8 or 9 months into trading. And, you know, I'm feeling proud of my progress so far, but, like, if I continue to trade the way that I'm trading, then I will not continue to progress. So yeah, this is a major setback. I've never blown 5 accounts aside from CPI. I blew them, or did I blow them? Yeah, I blew 4 accounts on CPI in March. But it was because they had like $1,200 balance left after a payout, and I was totally okay to accept that risk. You know, this sucks, but I just have to continue to remember that, like, I don't need to rush progress. And I also want to see what other things I can share with you. Something else that I want to share is that I feel like if I'm having problems with discipline in my own life, then it translates to the charts. And I'm not going to lie, like, I've been having trouble staying disciplined with eating and going to the gym. So I really need to work on that. And something else that I need to remember is that, Like setups that look perfect can still lose. That's why it's important to accept a loss, right? Like they're like the loss that I took, the first loss that I took, I felt pretty good to take that loss. I thought I liked that trade. It was all right. I mean, sure, I could have waited for a CISD, but I liked the setup, and it did not deliver. And something else that I've noticed is that whenever I take a loss initially, I do allow myself to continue trading if I do see a light bulb setup, but then like I take setups, and then if they don't play out, then I get emotional and I really have trouble walking away. And I just need to continue to remember that like me not walking away is setting myself back progress. Like you guys, it makes total sense that I blew accounts in this, because just look at this chop on the 5-minute time frame. Just look at this. Like prior to market open, it looked pretty good. We were trending up, trending down, and then, you know, we have New York AM and we just absolutely move sideways. This looks like a barcode that you could scan at Walmart. So, you know, this is what happens when I'm undisciplined and when I don't really follow my rules. I would say I did follow my rules for some of the setups, but some of them I didn't, and then I crashed out after that. So, yeah, it is what it is, but I can only try to learn and move on and grow. There's always tomorrow, and it sucks because I had to buy 5 new evals, which puts a dent in my pocket, but I'm just gonna continue to try and work and get better every day, 1% better every day. So catch you guys tomorrow. Back again. It is Tuesday, April 28th, and I did bang on the charts today. So just to give you a brief update, so I blew all my XFAs yesterday, tilting. However, I half passed them yesterday, and then I full passed them last night during Asia. Not going to really show you the trades. I mean, they were nice trades, but I mean, I think I might have already shown you the one from yesterday, but the one in Asia was just a nice continuation short. If I see nice price action in Asia, then I might as well capitalize on it. And especially if it's on an eval, then why not? So that's what I did. But yeah, I banged on shorts today. I had a bearish bias, and see, here's the thing. This is what I want to say. I feel so proud for following my system, following my model, and being rewarded, staying disciplined. I faded a setup that I didn't like. The setup ultimately ended up working, but then I executed it on a setup that I did like, and then I was rewarded. So I want to show you what the trade was. Here's proof that I banged on these setups. So here's proof, $1,300 day. I am pretty annoyed because this was a 3-to-1 RR trade, but I am on the micro chart because I want to be safer, and I risked 9 micros. I probably, for a 22-point stop and a $700 risk, I probably could have done at least a mini or like more than 10 micros, but it is what it is. I risked like around $400 on this trade to make 1,300. So feeling good about this, but let me just show you my thoughts going into the day. So you can clearly see that we kind of are dumping, or at least today we were dumping, and this 4-hour just looks bearish. So I was like, okay, I'm bearish going into the day and I want to see sell side taken. And we had these hourly gaps. So you can see this hourly gap right here. And we also had some 15-minute gaps above that I wanted to see tapped and respected. And that's what happened. Off open though, I did see this long, and basically what happened was right before market open, we swept this 15-minute intermediate high, and I was really annoyed because I wanted to see that taken off open so that we could get a play to the downside. And then when I saw this dump, I'm like, okay, we're probably going to the sell side. But then we ended up reversing. We ended up getting a 1-minute inverse, and I just completely faded the setup. I really did not think this was a good trade initially because I was bearish, right? Like this, if I was bullish, then I think that this long was a plus. And you know, this, you could have an argument for this long, right? We had a bullish SMT at these lows. You can clearly see this bullish SMT. We had a 1-minute inverse. We also tapped and respected a 15-minute bullish gap. You can see here, it's a small one, but we tapped it. Same thing with these 5-minute gaps. We tapped and respected those. And then we got a 1-minute inverse. I just personally faded the setup because I was bearish on the day. I think that this was a plus bullish setup, but it ultimately ended up delivering to full take profit. And then at that point, I really was interested in shorts because we tapped high time frame equilibrium of this range on the hourly. Like you can kind of see that equilibrium was tapped We tapped EQ, so we were now in a premium of the range. We tapped an hourly, we tapped a 15-minute. If those held, then I really would have loved shorts. And then I saw we had a bearish SMT at these highs. So you can see that at 10 or 950, right at the macro. At 950, we swept this high and ES did not. So I really like this bearish SMT. And if we got an inversion off of that, then I was so willing to enter. And that's exactly what happened. We got this 30-second inverse right here. Looked very beautiful. We had some LRLR leading up to this 5-minute gap. That was my break-even point. And ultimately, I did not target 930 low. And the reason was because from 930 low to the New York high, this was around 200 points. So I was thinking, okay, like, this, I would just expect a rebalance to these lows. And ultimately I ended up perfectly like kind of top ticking the move. I still think that holding to 930 low is fine, but I would have been stopped at break even, and this prevented a break even trade and potentially a crash out. So feeling good about how I executed today, my risk management, me following my rules. That's just what I need to get back to, is getting back to the basics and getting back to the behaviors that got me profitable in the first place. So yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Catch you tomorrow. All right, you guys, Dr. Tiger back again today. I'm going to try and make this clip short because there really isn't a lot to talk about. Today's Wednesday, April 29th, and today is pre-FOMC day, which means that it's already lower probability, and I took a break-even trade. So let me show you what trade I took. There was a winning setup that I faded, and I'm feeling slightly frustrated that I faded the setup because I think it looked, in hindsight, it looked pretty good, but like I had my reasons for fading it, so I'm just going to show you that. So going into the day, let me just show you, going into the day, all overnight we were choppy. So I wanted to see a breakout of the range in order to continue, like in order to look for longs or to look for shorts. Like I kind of, because we came down here off open, I ideally was looking for longs off open, and that unfortunately really just did not happen. We were very slowly delivering. And in order to really look for longs, like I just needed to see a clear entry, and there was really no clear entry anywhere. Like I saw this 3-minute inversion to the upside, but we had this 5-minute and this 15-minute above right here. It was a small 15-minute, and we had a 5-minute as well. And so, I needed to see those conditions inversed in order to really look for longs. And basically what I saw happen was we swept this high, like we tapped this 5-minute gap, we swept the high up here, we formed a bearish SMT with ES at the time. Where is it? Well, you can see that this like 5-minute gap is kind of like these 5-minute gaps are up here, and ES was nowhere near them, so we made a bearish SMT there. And at the time I saw this very obvious like 30-second gap. Like I always just try to look for obvious gaps, and whenever we inverse those gaps, that should be a strong sign that we are going lower, like in line with my direction. And like the reason why I was still, so we took out sell side liquidity off open, we took out some equal lows, and we took out Asia low, but I was still open to trying to short here because we kind of just generated this low resistance liquidity. And if we look at ES was extremely close to its past day low. We literally edged past day low, so I just felt confident in us going lower because of ES. But at the same time, like NASDAQ, you can see this hourly candle, it closed very bullish. It respected this hourly gap, these hourly gaps. So, just lots of opposing things that I'm saying right now. So, today trading was less probable, but I did see this 30-second candle, or excuse me, this 30-second inverse. And I thought I would try this. So I put a limit at like these gaps up here, and I decided to enter for around a 1.7 RR. And ultimately got break even. I went break even at these lows, and this was like the lowest point of price up until now. Like we've not reached that low again. So I'm glad I went break even there. But after being wrong, I just was staying on the charts and see what was going on. Oh, excuse me, just feeling a little tired. But I stayed on the charts, saw what was going on, and I saw this 5-minute inverse up here, and honestly, this looks really clean. You can see this looks really clean. We swept sell side liquidity. We started forming bullish structure. We closed bullishly. We made a break of structure and a 5-minute inversion. while leaving these stacked highs and low resistance liquidity up here. I think that this was a great trade. I faded this though. The main reason I faded this is because you can kind of see that, while we are basically at our entry point at the time, I mean, what time was this? This was at 10:20. At 10:20, like, or where was ES? Hold on. Yeah, ES was not even through its 5-minute gaps. And like on a day like FOMC, I kind of want to try and tell myself, look, I want to be extremely picky. And because FOMC has bad delivery, like I want to be picky. So we inversed it here, but ES did not inverse it. And it was kind of just struggling to go higher. It was nowhere near its buy side draws. And so I faded this. It ended up playing out. And I honestly was like looking for continuations up to this point. The continuations still look pretty good, but like the delivery in these candles just suck. We had a sharp retrace and we're not getting the flip that I want. So it's probably just a sign of choppy and bad price action. And therefore I'm getting off for the day. So yeah, guys, just reminding myself that by staying patient and by following my rules and only executing on setups that I feel super convicted in, then that is how I will continue to progress in my trading journey. So yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Catch you tomorrow. Again, I'm feeling slightly annoyed, you guys, but I think that this time when I lose, like whenever I lose, it's going to be really important to grow and learn from. And if I'm being honest, you guys, like I really like the loss I took. I ended up taking 2 trades. One of them was a brutal break-even trade. Basically, what ended up happening was the trade was going well, and I decided to move my stop to a $150 winning day. And I decided that, like, if we're going to hit my $150 winning day, then that's fine. That's okay. I'm fine with that. It hit my $150 winning day. I don't know if it would have stopped me out at break even. It would have been really close. And then it decided to dump to my full take profit. So I'm like, okay, great. So already kind of felt annoyed about that. And then I saw another setup kind of off the sweep of that low. It was a MEC long targeting this unfilled 15-minute gap, and it just failed. It failed, and I can maybe try and reflect on why, but honestly, like I think I kind of just got caught up in chop, and it's currently delivering higher. So just feeling pretty annoyed. But like I kind of just like that loss added to the trend line, and then I also re-entered, got break even, and then I just decided to lock out after that. So let me just show you all the different trades. First, got to open Discord. It was a smaller loss, so I normally risk $700, but because I took a winning day trade, I only lost around $500 today, so I still have $1,500 left of drawdown in these accounts. Just going to continue to try and focus on taking A+ setups. So let me show you the short that I took. So overall, what I saw off open is that we dumped, and we then traded up. We made a bearish SMT at these highs, and with the bearish SMT at these highs, we made a 1-minute death candle, and I definitely love that. We made a 1-minute inverse and a 1-minute death candle. So I decided to enter short. I put my stop above the high, and I put my TP at London low right here. It was very unfortunate because we went all the way here and then we reversed, and my $150 winning day was probably right around here. So it tapped me out. It ultimately did not revisit my original entry. So my original entry was right here. I don't know if I would have gotten tapped out. So, that's really unfortunate, but we ultimately did end up delivering to London low. And, yeah, so that was frustrating because I was in a really nice winning trade, and look at this, you guys, I literally got stopped out, and we're going to my target right now. Whatever. All I have to say is that, basically after that, I was open to trading still, and then we ended up taking London low, and I saw that we made a 1-minute inverse here, and we also made a 1-minute change in the state of delivery. We closed above this red candle here, so I decided to put and we made an order block at the same time, so I decided to put my stop at this order block, and I entered on the inversion, and I targeted the unfilled 15-minute gap. I got stopped out, and then I saw we continued rallying higher. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm like high key interested in long still. So I re-entered with this 1 minute inversion. There was also a 30-second inversion in this leg as well. But you can kind of just see that we're chopping, right? Like we took me out and then we got the inverse and then we took my break even point. I got break even on this setup. It locked me out because of a trade limit. And now we're currently trending higher, which is what I expected because, we dumped so much off open and we're leaving all this trendline liquidity that's going to be probably taken out now. It's just that my entry was very unfortunately unlucky. I just realized that I stopped the video. You guys, I think that the market has just been testing me lately, especially with these annoying break evens. And, part of me, so in my trade that I was in a winning trade. And in my winning trade, I was thinking to myself, like, if this happens, then should I close early? And what I mean by that is, so you can see that we have the only thing that was really stopping this trade from going to full take profit at the time was this 15-minute gap. And I said, if we respect this 15-minute gap, then I might close early or take partials. And we ended up respecting it. So I was thinking about doing that, but then I thought to myself, okay, taking partials off here would be like an emotional break even. If it went to full take profit, then I'd feel like it was an emotional break even. So, guys, I'm just feeling annoyed at this trading day. And, the loss was controlled. I still have $1,500 of drawdown to blow these accounts, which means 2 A+ setups. And yeah, guys, it's just a part of the process. So gonna catch you guys tomorrow. You guys, this is like really embarrassing to admit, but I'm just really struggling right now. I blew my accounts again. I know it's like completely unacceptable. This is just my lowest point I've probably ever been in trading. It's crazy how April went from being like a great month to really, really struggling. Basically, like, I'm not going to show you the trades because it's like there's really, again, nothing to learn from. But I saw a pre-market trade that I really liked and I decided to enter on it. I went break even early because I had already made profits from pre-market and I just wanted to secure my safety or whatever. I got stopped break even. The trade ended up playing out. I think the main lesson that I can take from the pre-market trade is that, during pre-market volume is going to be lower. But like if I take a trade, I still have conviction in the draw and liquidity, and like I only should really move to break even when it makes logical sense to. And in the case of my trade, it would have happened 2 minutes after my entry or so, 2 or 3 minutes, which is literally nothing. So I just have to be patient and wait, right? If I don't have patience as a trader, then I'm not going to make it in trading. Something else that I want to say, so the trades that I lost my accounts with were shorts. And if you remember, right, you remember that on Friday we probably ripped to all-time highs. Well, I basically just tried every short opportunity that I could, like every small inversion. We had like 30-second inversions. I was even using 15-second to justify my inversions, and all of them either lost or got break even. And so with that, I kind of just tilted. I was trying to long in random spots, which didn't work. That's kind of what ultimately caused me to lose. I think I tried shorting and like it stopped me out. I didn't have the most logical stop and did not get stopped, or excuse me, I got stopped, but like my stop was at not at a logical spot. So you guys, I think that what I'm realizing, my main problem is just me. I am the problem. And you guys, like, I know that this is just a discipline problem. My strategy I know works. I've gotten tons of payouts with this strategy. But I know that I'm the problem. And in order to fix this, I have to take strategic measures to ensure that I am not the problem anymore. And I'm now going to, I know that in January and February, as well as in March as well, I set a $700 daily loss limit mandatory, and I also set a 2 trade per day mandatory limit. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue doing that. It really sucks. I wish that I was more disciplined so that I could have a little bit more flexibility. But I've proven to myself this week that I cannot have more flexibility right now as a trader, that I have to really focus. Because if I do lose on an A+ setup, then I really think that that loss is fine. But I should not be losing my accounts in one day by over trading and tilting. I've done it twice this week. It's absolutely unacceptable. This is really embarrassing and hard to post, but it's just the reality behind trading. So you guys, I am going to just try to go into next week with a fresh mindset. I don't want to take a break from trading because I know that I can do this. I know that my strategy is profitable and I know it works. So I don't want to miss out on opportunity, but I am going to be having more strict risk measures put into place that I will be locking at the beginning of each day so that I can't change them. Because I know that I am the thing that's standing in my own way. This month of May might be slow because, I'm just going to be trying to rebuild. But if that's what the journey is, then that's what the journey is. So, yeah, guys, I will catch you guys next week.